of my art journals, and today I just want to open them up and let you see what's inside. I hope that looking at what I have done inspires you to start your own art journal. You don't need any special skills, you just need a desire to want to create. Always do an art journal for yourself, period. This is one of my favorite spreads. I have loved this spread forever. What I love about it the most is that I just put paint on the page, experimented. I found an image that just so happened to match the paint that I put on the page perfectly. I had some scrap paper, inspirational words. I have a ton of rubber stamps and decided to just use that because I needed to remind myself that sometimes I need to stop and breathe. It's necessary. This is another page that I love a lot. Again, this is just that stacking of an image and finding the right words to go along with it. I love journaling on my pages, especially if they look like this, because it looks like it's all part of the art. It's one of my most favorite things to do. And another technique that I used over here was that I put down a really thick layer of gesso. It's a white, very white paint, typically used on canvas. And I put it on here, let it dry just to the point of being tacky, scratched in some words, and then went and put paint on top, rubbed the paint off, put another coat, and then you get to see these nice textures with the words. And pages like the two I just showed you tend to start off like this, where it's just me putting a whole lot of paint on there. Again, did that little scratching technique with the words in there, stencils. I just love using those types of things and just trying stuff out. That's the best thing about keeping some type of art journal. Junk journaling is another word that you may hear a lot with people who are doing something very similar, where they will put in ticket stubs and things that they've collected over the years, the days, the whatever, and just creating these pages that are just beautiful to come back to. But what I also love about this is that you just get an opportunity to try something out. There are no rules. It's just perfect. Use what you have too. Example of using what you have, bubble wrap. A lot of this white dots here, bubble wrap. Love using bubble wrap to create some art pages. It's just wonderful. Again, experimenting the backgrounds. I used a lot of yellows and stuff. Oh, these are actually buttons. I haven't looked at this one in a while. Actual buttons. Things you find. Create it, make it up, love it, enjoy it. Transparency. I was trying to lift it up a little bit without destroying it, but there's something on here apparently I didn't either want to read again or I didn't want someone else to, but there's journaling all behind this. Same thing over here. Another thing you can do, if you want to create a journal that you are writing things down, that you just need to get it out, journals are perfect for that. Get it out, cover it up. No one has to know. More of these backgrounds, things that can just get you started. And I also like to create blank pages like these. And I would just create a bunch of them. And then I would create on top of them based on what moved me at that time. I actually think this is a letter or something that's written in here. I was trying to see if I could see. There's a couple of things in here. Okay. Okay. I don't know what was going on. Anyways, lots of stuff going on this page, but you can create pockets out of pictures. Picture I'd taken, put it in here just enough. Now you got a pocket to stick things in. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. There's a tag. So this lady is on top of a tag from something. If I find an interesting tag, I will keep it and put it in a journal. I think that's pretty much it for this one here. And here's another one that's has a little more of that same type of flavor. I also love getting a thick book. I'm trying to bust that seam open. But again, just putting in papers that you have left over. things you want to remember and collect. I don't always read over things that are in my journals, but I love just decorating a page. I think these were like transfers and then actually had a huge stamp, dipped it in some paint. There's a page for you. I don't always put words on some of my pages. Sometimes it's just good enough having something like this, and you just create for the sake of creating. Don't always have to have an agenda, just be excited about what you're writing. Apparently I wrote Oprah a letter. I don't know why. There obviously was a reason years ago why I did it. Left brain, right brain. There was obviously a reason why I did this too. Oh, I remember now. It was literally, what does my left brain do? What does that side of me do? But also notice that at that time, it felt very restricted for me in some way, I guess. And then over here, the right brain, I'm trying to read some of it, is chaotic, unstructured, etc., etc. So your pages can also do that for you too, where you're just putting things in. Why am I checking to see if anything's a pocket? It is not, but again, just one of those things where now I'm seeing this particular book. I used it to do regular journaling in, but I created these pages so that they were beautiful in some type of way. And I love it. I love it. This is another one that I really like. Again, little pockets, stick things in there. Love it. Oh, again, I'm looking at things for like the first time in years. Purpose of my business. I guess apparently I was building some type of business and this was the details of the business. Strengths, a SWOT analysis for it. No idea what this says, but again, love doing these types of things. One of my favorite things to do is a mind map. Love a mind map. So apparently I had different types of business objectives and I created them as an art page. I don't think this one had any purpose outside of the colors. Now, here's what it is though. This was part of the section just right here, was part of a paper sample book. I remember this now. And I use the colors. I love just collecting things like this. This was also something that was in a paper sample book. And I would just keep these things until I was ready to do something. Putting words together like this became one of my signatures. I still do this with little word stickers, and I will make phrases. I love doing that because it's just a unique way of expressing yourself. Obviously, exercise your freedom of expression. I needed to get rid of some sticker letters. So these apparently are what was left over. What's funny to me is these are some of the letters where you've used up everything. So I was like, what can I do with these sticker letters? And this was it. I really loved this page too because of the color of it. I liked how the woman was here. Now that I'm feeling this, there is probably oil pastel is this blue part around her. And then I liked how it's darker here. These were some rub off letters because I can see how they aren't perfectly on there. Another one of those pages where the journaling is actually back here. So this is some type of silver tape. I think, yeah, you can kind of see that it's a little metallic. So this silver tape I wrote on top of, painted on top of it, rubbed off the paint, and then put this on top of it here. Sometimes, again, my plans were to probably journal here, but I just love creating the pages as if they're just art. And that's what I noticed, that this particular book was just me making art. Again, great way to use up sticker letters or anything like that. These actually have texture, so they feel like felt. Leftover tape. Again, finding really interesting pieces of art in magazines and putting that stuff down. Oh, I'm remembering now. This was a really fun art journal. It was so much fun to do. More letters. These have like a really rough texture to them. Same thing over here. Great way to use things up. Paint those backgrounds. Go into magazines. Look for artsy types of things that you can use to create your own art journal pages. Told you I love me some bubble wrap. So bubble wrap is a very cool, inexpensive art tool. I love things like that you can just stencil on top of. This round part right here, oh, it actually feels like something. I don't know what it was originally, but you can create that shape right there with anything that's round. Dip it in some paint, stick it down. I have got to find that paint that makes it do this crackle thing. I was really into crackling back when I was doing this journal, apparently. Another one where it's just a bunch of pieces of paper and scraps and, again, tags that I would find and would just put them in my journals. Love this page. This guitar, still love it. Love it. Here's another one, bubble wrap up there for some texture. And just interesting things that also speak words into myself, you know, explore, dream, discover. Really good ways of reminding myself to, you know, keep creating. Very simple here. I wonder if this is one that I didn't really finish, or was it intended to be just what you see right here? Because I see the first word says peace, and I have no idea what the rest of it says. I don't really read back through my journals. And then we have here just loved, simple. I think that this was, I was using probably some type of paint, definitely stencils, then just using, you know, right pen here. Okay, oh, here we go. Okay. Love this because there were so many things on here now that I'm remembering that were mistakes. I had rubbed ink on top of this, the dots are a transparency. And I had rubbed ink on top of it, so it felt like a mistake. But then look at how I brought it all together. Again, finding things. I apparently needed to really restore myself in some type of way because I'm seeing themes throughout this entire journal. And then I started really getting into doing these hearts. So I'll start here. Basically find you something, cut it out, doesn't have to be perfect. And then this is like an oil pastel that's probably on the outside of it. And then again, I carried this technique over. You can see a little bit better when I was talking about putting down paint, scratching through it, and then putting paint on top of it again. So lighter color on the bottom first, then the red color, scratch on top of it so you can see the color coming through. Just a dark pastel around, cutting out that heart, which again says peace, live, journaling behind it. Oh, I love this. I was really into hearts for a second here, I'm seeing. Again, same thing. That bird stencil keeps popping up. I might still actually have that bird stencil. Stencils again. Stencils are your best friend too because you can use them over and over again. And look how different the book looks when you have the stencil on one page, do it on another, stencil back on top of it. This was fun. And then use some type of spray because I'm seeing the spray on here. Oh, that was so much fun. Yes, another page, stencil over here. Where are these stencils? I wish I still had them because this would be amazing to have it. Again, the orange dots are bubble wrap. Love some bubble wrap. Stencils also with the flowers here. Spray, paint, just great. And this is just something that I would do, was just create these blank pages that would probably be used for additional types of art. This feels like watercolor. Wasn't the best book for watercolor, but you know, it did what it needed to do. And yeah, so yeah, that was this book here. And here's a much smaller one. I feel like I've shared bits and pieces of this one before, but with this one, I went and found words and made my own poems, if you want to call it that, and just wanted to create something that was just very simple. So that was the theme of this particular art journal, was that it was just supposed to be little poems, basically, using rubber stamps. I wanted to keep the pages simple and easy for me to work in every single day. So the backgrounds were painted ahead of time, and then I would decorate or put these little poems on all of the pages. Like this one apparently needed nothing except the words. And same way with this one. This one here apparently only needed one word. There we go. And then this might be it for this one. Yeah, lots of backgrounds. I never came back to this one. I guess I had my sanctuary. But you can see that I painted ahead so that all I had to do was pick the book up and start making some more art. So yet another one. And here's one that I started. It was like kind of the same thing that this one was supposed to be, where I would make art every morning while drinking my morning beverage. Again, made it super easy for myself. And you can kind of see the evolution of what these pages started to look like each morning. They started to change a little bit. No agenda, had no plans. I just would sit and paint and see what happened. A circle theme started popping up a lot with this one. Again, I discovered a white pen and just started writing on top. Another great way to hide journaling in your artwork is to use a pen that kind of blends into what you're doing. These are just watercolor leaves, so little shapes. And I think these kind of popped up on some of the other pages here and here. I would paint just these circles or shapes and would keep them and use them for my journals, flowers. And again, a lot of opportunity here to just experiment and do different things. This was a lot of fun to do. And I've still got this book. I still need to fill it up. My goal is to have it be a fat book, like really expand out fat book with the beautiful painted pages. And I just love it. I love everything about it. It's just fun. So this is just a peek inside of my art journals. I hope that you give art journaling a try. And hopefully I've shown you enough variety in techniques that you can see that you don't have to be perfect. There's nothing on this page except paint and words. That's it. And I see some gold stamps in there. That's it. Use what you have. You don't need to buy new supplies. This is literally a paint pen. I drew in squares with a paintbrush. The circles, like I told you, I'd just been sitting and painting these swirls and then just taking, pasting them down and then actually just painting on top to add texture. Just a way to experiment. That's really all this is experimenting. I also love a good, what's this called? You can see what these dots are. It's splatter. Oh my God. I love good splatter. And it was an accident, actually. I was shaking the pen and it splattered and I was like, oh my God. And then I said, I love it. So I kept splattering paint on top of it. But again, just having fun with it. So I hope that you have enjoyed taking a peek through my art journals. I hope that you try it out yourself. If you do, please tag me in it and share. I would love to see it. If you like this and you want to see more peeks inside of my journals, or you want to just learn some different things, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Make sure that you like and subscribe, share. I read all of your comments and I try to respond to every single one of them. But thank you for taking a peek inside my journals.